Palo Alto Networks is the global cybersecurity leader. Let's talk about their innovations with Chief Security Officer for Northern Europe, Jesper Olsen. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Please tell us about Palo Alto Networks and its approach to cybersecurity.
Absolutely. So Palo Alto Networks is the global cybersecurity leader. We serve more than 82,000 customers globally, so that covers more than 150 countries. And we do this with a security technology portfolio where we believe integration, automation and simplification is the key elements for the best protective solution you can have. In addition to this, we have our Unit 42 threat research team that many people have come to know as well. We provide security advisories both to our customers but also to anyone who's interested actually. And all of that combined to provide our vision to the cybersecurity community, our vision of each day should be more safe and more secure than the one before. So yeah, that's Palo Alto Networks in a nutshell.
Well, with that many customers worldwide, you possess a huge data set.
Yes.
Is it possible to use these past records to predict future zero-day threats?
Yeah, and I would love it to be, but unfortunately, no. Fortune telling is not a merit of cybersecurity organizations today. What we can do with a huge data set like that is we can utilize the knowledge and detect and respond to variations of existing attack schemes and attack methodologies from the adversaries. But if we were to predict things, that would require the adversaries not to evolve. And I think you will echo this, that over the past year we've seen cybersecurity adversaries and attackers, we've seen them change and evolve the way they approach organizations. So unfortunately, not yet.
Well, automation and machine learning are Palo Alto's domains.
Yes.
Do you expect artificial intelligence to gradually replace your human cybersecurity experts?
Yeah, I love that question because I would love for someone else to do my work and then I could sit in the background. But at the same time, I would also feel terrible because I wouldn't contribute much. But no, it's not going to happen any day soon. And the reason for that is you need the AI and machine learning to be able to detect and respond faster. And you can utilize that to remove the tedious and repetitive tasks for your cybersecurity professionals. But you still need the humans to go in and define the policies, look into the business processes, and optimize your technology use at the same time. So it's not going to replace humans, rest assured.
Well, but humans are still the most vulnerable vector in the whole cybersecurity industry. When you task artificial intelligence with improving cybersecurity, isn't the most logical way how to do this to lock the human users out of the system?
Yeah, you could say that, but luckily this is not August 29 in 1997 where Skynet became self-aware, which I'm very happy about, by the way. But no, if that were to happen, basic programming foundation was made wrong, because what we want to achieve is accessibility in a secure manner. It's not security with accessibility where possible. So if you utilize AI and machine learning to determine who has access, you should rather determine how they get access and what they can get access to, so the basic requirements for it. So it's all in the first line of programming, more or less.
And what are some of the key trends you are seeing in the cybersecurity landscape that maybe companies are struggling with right now?
Yeah. I can definitely share a few. We know that from our Unit 42 research team, they recently updated their ransomware threat report, and it's very obvious that ransomware is on the rise. Ransomware comes in many variations, but what we see is that there's an increase not only in the amounts of ransomware being utilized and the attacks growing, but there's a definite increase in the demand of ransom as well. Actually, we saw from the average of 2020 and then compare it to the first half of 2021, there was more than 500% increase in the demand. So it's a huge amount they're asking for. And at the same time, the increase in demand, you have what we call the evolution of their attack schemes. So now they're not just going after your data and stealing that and then encryption. That was the the old schemes. Now they're moving into what we call quadruple extortion schemes. That means they're stealing the data, then they're encrypting the data, and then they start threatening you with, if you're still not paying ransom, with denial of service attacks, for instance. And then the fourth element is harassment. So they start sharing parts of your information to maybe your partners or media to sort of push you towards the payment instead. So they're definitely changing their attack schemes, and that's a challenge for many organizations. So if organizations today are not aware of how and when the data leaves their organization and not capable of protecting from the encryption as well, it might be a challenge for them as well.
Mm. Well, now please allow me a personal question.
Absolutely.
How did you end up in the cybersecurity industry?
Yeah, and thank you for that question. I always, I'm scared of those questions because it reveals how old I am. But in the mid-90s, I was a young military police officer, and I realized back then that when you have the ability to protect someone, you should do your best to do so. And I've carried that mentality with me throughout the years. And then in the late 90s, early 2000, I discovered I had a talent for IT in general, and I had a very deep interest in hacking. So I spent the next couple of decades on hacking everything I could and failing miserably. But you learn a lot from mistakes, right? So yeah, that was actually my journey into it, and ended up, in great positions, and now proud to be the Chief Security Officer at Palo Alto Networks. So, yeah.
And would you care to share a few tips for those who might be interested in following career in the cybersecurity?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You've probably heard this as well, that many security professionals, they're pressured by the workload, always playing this catch-up game. So my first tip is the balance. Make sure you balance your profession with what you cherish the most. And even though I like work, I would still say you need something aside from work to distract you a bit from time to time. So balance and allow yourself to restore energy. The second tip I have is sharing. Share your success is something all people like to do. But share failures is something we need to learn to do. And sharing of failures allows others to avoid making the same mistakes. And then we grow as a community as well. So that would be my second tip. The third tip I have is utilize your peer network. When you share mistakes, you have a great opportunity to also expand in your peer network. So utilize your peers and really, mingle. I like that.
Well, thank you very much for these tips and for the whole interview.
Thank you.